Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best 4-slice toaster.
Starting at number 5.
KitchenAid 4-slice. I have had this KitchenAid toaster for almost a year now. It's the one I depend on most. I use it at least 3 times a week and sometimes twice a day when I really don't feel like cooking. It has popped out perfectly golden toast from the first time I pushed down the lever. It's got 5 browning settings, each of which is distinct. 1 gives you a barely there blonde, while 5 gets you to scorched territory. I prefer a 2, which produces the perfect sundown shade I talked about above, whether I've put in a slice of an already brown multigrain from the bag or a hand-cut chunk of ciabatta. There are 2 features that really make the design stand out from all the other toasters I tested. First are the extra wide slots, which have let me easily toast slices from thicker loaves. The high lift lever also means I'm able to delicately take toast from the top without having to play the saddest game of hot potato. Plus, the KitchenAid lets out an assertive beep when toast is ready, so I never have to chew through cold toast because I couldn't hear a ding. I have put it through the ringer with Padilla family brunches, where pancake-like stacks of toast are passed around. That KitchenAid quality is no joke. One Amazon review I read before the brand sent it to me for review described the toaster as built as solid as a 1957 Buick. I have accidentally banged the toaster around and there's not a scratch on it. It's surprisingly easy to wipe down with a dish towel to restore its original glossiness. And it has a certain Jetsons-like charm, despite its heft.
Coming at number 4.
SMEG TSF02 RDUS 50s. Consider a long slot toaster like the SMEG 4-slice toaster if you want maximum versatility. This high-end toaster has 2 slots that can each fit a couple of slices of sandwich bread side by side, so it has the same capacity as 4-slot toasters but can also fit longer slices of homemade or bakery bread. The slots are deeper than most toasters, so taller slices won't stick out the top. It performs similarly regardless of where you place the bread and doesn't start burning your toast after a few batches. It has settings for bagels and frozen items and a reheat function for warming up cold toast or adding some time to the end of a cycle. It can make anything from lightly toasted to dark brown toast from white sandwich bread in 1 cycle. However, anything that takes longer to toast, like denser bread and bagels, may need more than 1 cycle to get properly browned. It doesn't tell you how much time is left in a cycle, which is disappointing for such an expensive toaster. While it has a glossy, retro style to match the price tag, if you don't want to spend the money for a high-end toaster, the Cuisinart long slot toaster is a good option. It's much cheaper and performs similarly, but you must manually raise the lever to grab even normal-sized toast without burning your fingers, which is annoying. Plus, its slots are quite shallow when pushed down, so taller slices can stick out the top.
At number 3.
BLACK+DECKER. The BLACK+DECKER 4-slice toaster TR4900 SSD is the best budget 4-slice toaster we've tested. Unlike the previous picks, this toaster has no modes other than the standard ones for bagels and frozen items like waffles. It lacks cycle countdown indicators, so there's no way of knowing how much time remains in a toasting cycle. However, it's still made of metal rather than plastic and has a better toasting range than the beautiful 4-slice toaster with touch-activated display. The presets can produce anything from lightly toasted to charred sandwich bread in a single cycle. You won't have to run an extra cycle to toast denser breads properly. It has dials that let you make small adjustments to the shade setting, so you're not limited to 7 settings. It tends to toast the inner face more than the outer face, but otherwise, it toasts bread very evenly, with each slot performing similarly. You might need to adjust the dial after the first batch to get consistent results since it tends to compensate for the machine heating up and make lighter toast after the first batch.
Number 2 of my list.
4-slice toaster. If you want to pay less without completely foregoing premium touches, you might prefer the beautiful 4-slice toaster with touch-activated display. This toaster from Drew Barrymore's kitchenware brand Beautiful by Drew has a modern look, with touch-activated buttons that light up when the toaster is on. While it's inconsistently available from online retailers, you can find out where to buy it via the manufacturer's website. Unlike the Breville Diecast 4-slice smart toaster, it comes in various pastel colors to suit your style. Its slots are wide and deep enough for thicker and taller slices. It's better than the previous pick at evenly browning the bread in every slot and on both sides of the bread. It's also more consistent batch after batch. Aside from the more typical bagel and frozen settings, it has a gluten-free setting, which adds a bit of time to the end of a toasting cycle to help brown denser bread. However, unlike the Breville, it only has 7 distinct shade settings. You can't set the dial between 2 settings to fine-tune the cycle length. Unfortunately, none of the shade settings produces golden brown sandwich bread, so if that's what you want, you'll have to add time to the end of a lower setting or cancel a higher setting early. On the plus side, it includes cycle countdown indicators to tell how much time is left before your toast pops up.
And number 1.
Breville Diecast. The best 4-slice toaster we've tested is the Breville Diecast 4-slice smart toaster. While you don't have to pay this much for a good toasting performance, it offers some useful features you don't get with cheaper models. This high-end toaster has an aluminum body and a sturdy feel overall. Its 4 slots are slightly wider, deeper, and longer than our mid-range and budget picks, so they easily fit bagels or thickly sliced bread, and taller slices won't stick out of the top of the toaster. It has an incredible toasting range, making anything from barely toasted to charred sandwich bread in a single cycle. Denser bread that takes longer to cook, like multigrain or rye, doesn't need more than 1 cycle to get properly browned. It toasts bread decently evenly, but unfortunately, some slots produce somewhat darker toast than others. It produces darker toast on the second batch than the first, so you must adjust the setting for consistent results. The extra features set it apart from some cheaper options. Unlike many toasters, it has cycle countdown indicators so you can tell when your toast will be ready. You can use lift and look to lift the slots and check on your toast without interrupting the toasting cycle, and the bit more button to add some time to the end of a cycle. It has buttons to lift and raise the slots instead of levers.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.